everyone. I started this video before, but I just realized it was kind of a mess, so I'm restarting it. I'm just lettering right now. I'm making a microcosmos spread, but today I'm doing a Q&A slash chit-chat journal with me, and I have a bunch of questions that I wrote down from people who asked me on my Instagram poll I did a couple of days ago, and so I'm going to answer those while I journal. And sorry about this angle, by the way. You can kind of see my body right here. Hello. And I'm really sick right now, so my voice sounds really weird, but I hope you guys don't mind that. Anyways, I'll start answering questions while I do my lettering and that stuff. But it's gonna be like a nighttime city theme because Microcosmos recently is my favorite song by BTS because of the concert, and they played it the last. So it makes me feel like happy but sad when I listen to it, and I really, really love it. I love the lyrics, I love the meaning of it. So I've been really wanting to do a Microcosmos spread. But yeah, so I guess we'll get into the questions. The first question is Kyungsu or Ten? That is a super hard question for me to answer because I love both of them so much. And although I don't post about them very often, I feel like you don't have to post about a group to like them. So I don't know. I would have to say Ten, I think, because he is literally the reason why I named my channel tenschim, Ten and Jimin. So he was like one of the OG Old Spices that I've had, so I'll go with 10 for that one. Although Kyungsu is super talented and I love him to death. The next question is pink or peachy? I love pink. I've been really liking soft pink recently, like light pink, but I don't know, I feel like peachy is just so good. I have to go with peachy. I love peach. I like peach flavored things, I like peach scent, and I like peach color, so peach it is. The next question is soft aesthetics or dark aesthetics? So honestly, this depends on what mood I'm in. I love both. Honestly, I love people, journaling accounts that have really soft, like natural lighting aesthetics, but I also really like journaling accounts that have dark, grungy aesthetics, and same goes with like pictures and stuff. I used to actually have, my journaling account used to be on a black background instead of a white background. In this desk, all of my furniture in my room is black, but I would have to go with soft aesthetics. I feel like I really like white minimalistic aesthetic a lot, so I'll go with that, even though I never follow white minimalistic aesthetics at all in my room. I'll do a room tour one of these days. You guys can see what it looks like. It's not like minimalistic or white whatsoever, so yeah, but I'll go with soft. The next question is really hard for me to answer, but it is, how would you describe your style? So I feel like my style is, I used to say I don't have a style, but honestly I do think that I have a style now. It just changes quite a bit. So my style, the biggest thing I think that contributes to my style is layering and layering and layering and layering, especially in this past spread right here, this my Changyun spread. I layered so much, and that's why my journal gets so thick, because I layer so much. So I feel like layering is the most important thing to have a Joe aesthetic, but not aesthetic, but style. Other than that, sometimes I don't do a lot of layering, sometimes I do. I feel like just lots of gradients with my lettering and white gel pen and cutting out the pictures of people instead of using like square pictures. I feel like that's basically it. Next question. Who are your inspirations? My voice is cracking. I sound like a prepubescent boy. But my inspirations, I listed them all because I have so many. And these aren't all of my inspirations. I definitely have a lot more. But I listed the ones that I tend to look at the most. And first of all of my pen pals are my inspirations. That sounds really cheesy, but they are. I love my pen pals so much. My mutuals, obviously. I feel like they're all very, very talented people and they inspire me. But as for people go, Suho's is one of my biggest inspirations. I love her. She's such a great person, Jen. But I also just think that her journaling style is absolutely amazing. Alrighty, I am back after a feast. I just had some curry. Anyways, back to this and back to my inspirations. So I left off on Jen, and then I have SYU Bujo. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but amazing. All these people are really amazing. So I'm just gonna go through the list. Celine X.CNG, Tiny Jamin, of course, my baby Jazz, and then I have Cherry Venus, Cherry with an I Venus, Hyosan, Hero Tess, Keynote, Soft JJP, Snowy J, Changpaz, Gukjo, TYT.journals, Setsunai Bujo, not sure if that's how I pronounce her name, but Kim, love her. My baby Ten Culture, Liz, love her to death. And then also my best friend, Ali, from Ali. So those are some of my inspirations, some people that I love. Of course, there's more that I just didn't mention, but yeah, those are the majority. Anyways, next question is, when did you start journaling? So I actually wrote this down because I wasn't sure myself, and I missed my 1 year journaling anniversary by a couple months. I thought I started in August for some reason, but no, I started in April 7th, 2018 was the first journal entry that I ever made in my old journal. So yeah, I've been journaling for more than a year now, which is kind of crazy, but that's when I started K-pop journaling. And before that, I was K-pop pen paling, and I had K-pop pen pal for, I've been K-pop pen paling for like probably almost 2 years now, I would like to say. Maybe not almost 2 years, maybe like a year and a half, but longer than I've been K-pop journaling, definitely. So maybe it is actually almost 2 years. It's at least like probably 4 or 5 months before I started K-pop journaling. So I've been into the creative K-pop community for quite a while. Anyways, next question is, who would you rather personally know, Deno or Damon? So honestly, both. But if I had to choose one, I would say Deno, because I love him and he's so cute. But I would love to know both of them personally, or all of NCT, to be honest. Next question is, how was your day? My day has been good. It's always good when I don't go to work. I'm off today because it's a Friday. So I'm off on Fridays. And today all I did was wake up, take a shower. I got a haircut yesterday, so my hair is like super short now. And then I went to the post office and Starbucks with my mom and went grocery shopping with her, and then I came home and now I'm filming this video. So it's been a very chill day. It's the day before I have to go to my orientation tomorrow for college, and I have to get up super early, and it's going to be such a long day. So I'm just soaking up the time that I have where I get to feel awake and not dead tired. So yeah, it's been a really good day. How was your guys' day? Let me know in the comments. Do you journal whenever you have time? So the answer to that question is not every time I have time, but when I do have time, I tend to do something more creative, or I will watch a drama or a show. Recently, I've been so into watching The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. And usually I'm not really into English shows. I tend to watch a lot of dramas, but honestly, that show has been really good recently, and I'm only on the first season still, but I recommend it if you guys are into like some creepy, weird stuff. That makes me sound really weird, but it's a really good show. Dramas recently, I haven't been watching any. Actually, that's a lie. I've been watching one, I think it's called An Angel's Last Mission Love or something like that on Viki, and I really like it, but I'm waiting for more episodes to come out. I've also been watching quite a few Chinese dramas, and I think I'm watching The General and I, and what's it called? There's another one that I'm watching, but I completely forgot what it's called. They're both kind of like martial arts-ish dramas, and usually I'm not a fan of them, but I've been really liking them recently. So those are the ones I've been watching. I don't know why I went on to that when my question was, do you journal whenever you have time? So I either watch a show, or I will journal, or I will do pen pal letters. Typically recently I haven't really been journaling very often, which is weird because usually I journal a lot when I have free time, especially at night, which is difficult. That's why it's difficult for me to film videos, because I work during the day, and when I get home it's like dark and I don't have good lighting to film videos. So I can only film when I have days off, which is 2 days out of the week. And during those 2 days I want to relax and not journal. So it's kind of difficult for me to find time to film. So honestly, I don't have that much free time. I do, but I have a terrible sleep schedule, so I go to bed at like 3 and wake up at like 10 or 11, and then by the time I wake up I have to get ready for the day, make myself lunch, and then I head out to work at around probably 2. So, or sometimes way earlier than that, it depends on the day. But I don't have that much free time, so I don't really get to journal that often. But when I do have free time, I do tend to want to journal just because it's such a stress reliever for me, honestly. When I'm really stressed, that's when I journal the most. Just because it's just such a nice activity to do when you are feeling stressed out. So there's your answer to that one. Next one is, where do you get your inspiration from? So I've gotten this question, I think this is the most asked question in the poll that I did, not poll, but Instagram thing that I did. And inspiration can come from everywhere. And mainly my inspiration comes from probably music videos or shows. Like, for example, Monsta X. Sometimes my inspiration comes from watching Monsta X-Ray, which is their like variety show, I guess. Or for BTS, sometimes my inspiration comes from music videos, or it can come from like fan art or pictures that I see. This spread actually is inspired by like a pin that I've seen for Microcosmos, and also their lyrics. So yeah, their lyrics can inspire me. I do get lots of inspiration, of course, from the people that I mentioned, and also other people, the journaling community. Definitely, if you're feeling like you're out of inspiration, just go in the journaling community and look at everybody's posts. Like, honestly, that inspires me so much. So yeah, I feel like I pull my inspiration from a lot of different things. For spreads, I do tend to get ideas of what I want them to look like in my head, and then I go and make a spread about it. I don't really journal when I don't have an idea of what I want it to look like in my head. I can't just like sit down and do a spread when I am not inspired. So that's why, because I feel like when I'm not inspired to do a spread and I make myself do one, that's when my worst spreads come out, and spreads that I don't even post. So yeah, I feel like I have a good idea of what I want before I start journaling. Thanks. How do you plan your journal spreads? So how do I plan my journal spreads? Let me try to think about that. So I drew out a bunch of different city buildings over here. That's what I'm gonna cut out right now. But for planning journal spreads, like I said, I usually have a really clear idea of what I want before I even start journaling. And that comes from the inspiration that I take from many people. But for planning my journal spreads, the first thing that I do, as you can see by the mess next to me, is I pull out, I do colored themed spreads for the most part. I choose colors that I want to include in them. Like for this one, it's purples, blacks, dark blues, and gray tones usually for this spread. So I pull out all the stationery that I have, and I look through all of it and pick out things that go with the color theme that I'm doing. So I do pull out all of my washies, my stickers, I'm trying to think, my sticky notes, my memo pads, and all that kind of stuff. And then I pick and choose things that I think would look good. And I don't tend to use all of the things that I choose, but I do like to have that variety, so I don't have to like look at my collection and be like, where do I begin? So I feel like that's a really good place to start if you guys aren't really sure about what you want to use in your spread or what you want your spread to look like. And then I just kind of lay things out on the page. Whatever I've cut out or whatever I've printed, I like to have a good visual before I even start taping things down. So I lay everything out, I move things around as I see fit, and then I start taping things down. And once I take things down, I usually tend to go back and move things around again, layer things even more. And that's just because I like to layer and I'm a perfectionist, so I rip things off my page and then restick them other places and all that kind of stuff. So yes, that is how I plan my spreads. Especially for like my Dionysus spread, like one of my more popular spreads, I had a very good idea of what I wanted them to look like before I even started. And sometimes I even draw like a concept. I wish I would have my concept sketch of my like mono spread or my Dionysus spread. I think I threw them away by now, but those ones, I sat down and drew like a very rough idea of what I had in my head. And sometimes I actually like dream of spreads that I want to do, which sounds really stupid, but or I'm just laying in bed and I'm thinking and I think of like a spread idea, or I have a very vivid imagination, I think, when it comes to journaling. So I feel like I have a really good idea of what I want things to look like. How to practice lettering. I actually don't really have an answer to this. For me, I just kept writing and writing and writing until, or like writing lettering until I felt like it was okay. And I actually don't like the way that looks. So I'm gonna flip these over. But I looked up some lettering tutorials and things like, I'll show you, like doing like the thick line and then the thin line, like that, and just practicing doing that and like the S's. And I hold my pencil really weird, so I feel like if you hold your pencil right, like this, it could be different than me, but for me, I just kept going until I felt like it was right. I looked at other people's lettering styles, especially my pen pal May. I feel like she is what inspired me to want to do nice lettering. Her lettering is like absolutely gorgeous, so May, if you're watching this, you inspired me. But I feel like look at people's lettering styles that you like and then try to replicate it. That's how I actually started doing it, or started making my lettering. And even now I still look at people's lettering styles that I like and try to replicate it. For me, my lettering is, sometimes my lettering can be inspired by fonts that I see, and then other times it's inspired directly from other journalers on Instagram. So I feel like when you, downstroke is thick line, upstroke is thin line. That's how to do calligraphy, just remember that. Down, thick, up, skinny. Also, just experiment with a bunch of different pens. I feel like you'll find a group of pens that works for you, or like a brand of pens. For me, when I started using Tombos, I sucked so much with it. I could not make a good like line at all. So yeah, Tombos, but I got really a lot better with Tombos. Other pens that I use, it just takes a lot of practice, I feel like. But there's certainly different types of pens that you can use. Next one is actually related to that. What pens do you use? So I use tons of pens. I am a pen whore. I just really like pens, I think. So for lettering, I use Tombos, as you can see by my collection of Tombos over here. Or I use the Fude Touch pens, the brush pens. So here's like the black one. These are some of my favorite pens for thinner calligraphy. And I know a lot of people use like Crayola super tips, I believe they're called. I've never tried them before, so I couldn't tell you about that, but they're cheap, a really cheap alternative to using Tombos or other brush pens, so you could try those out as well. As for like writing pens, I use these three pens. So I have the Muji, I think this is like a clip pens or something like that. This one's in 0.5, and I also really love the Muji regular like capped gel pens. This one's in 0.38, and 0.38 tends to be my favorite thickness. And I also use the Pilot G2 pens. This one's in 0.5, and I think 0.5 is my favorite thickness for the G2 pens, and 0.38 as well. But 0.38 G2 pens are so hard to find. Those are my three favorite black pens. And then as for my white gel pen, I've been really liking, I forgot what these are called. Oh, it's right here, Uniball Signo pens. The only thing I don't like about these is that it's so thick that it's really hard to get a good thin line with them. But I also really like the Koi white gel pen as well. So yeah, those are my favorite pens, I think. All the ones that I really use. I also really like my liners, but I don't really use them for journaling. I use them for notes. So all the pens that I use that I recommend. Next one is how did I get into K-pop? So Ali asked this question. She knows how I got into K-pop because she's the one that introduced me to K-pop. So I got into K-pop, it was a really long time ago. It was, I would say maybe 3rd or 4th grade, maybe 4th grade. Ali is the one that introduced me to K-pop, like I just said. She is Korean, so she listened to K-pop. She listened to K-pop before it was popular. She's a K-pop hipster. I'm joking, but she did not inspire me. She showed me, I don't remember how exactly she showed me K-pop, to be honest. It was a really long time ago. But I think she showed me a 21 music video, maybe. 21. But yeah, if any of you guys like remember or stand 21, I love you. But they were the first group that I got into, that I really got into. I loved them. They were so popular back in that time too, that they were like the top girl group. And I feel like they're still the only girl group that I hold. I love them to death, but they're no longer like together, so, which is sad, but what can you do? So yeah, they're 21 definitely was the first group I got into, and then from 21 I got into Big Bang because I watched 21 TV a lot, and Big Bang was always featured, and they're in the same company obviously. And now we don't stand Big Bang because they are a mess, but I shouldn't say they are a mess. Seungri is a mess. And I feel like there's just so many scandals surrounded with Big Bang and YG Entertainment in general. I just don't want to get into that today though, but yeah, I started listening to Big Bang and started really getting into K-pop after that. I feel like, does that look okay? Okay, that is the layout right now. But yeah, I think that's just how I got into K-pop. And I took a break from K-pop for a while because I used to get bullied about it when I was in middle school because I'm Asian and I liked K-pop, and people were like, that is so ugly. You should not tell people you like K-pop. And so me, my impressionable little booty hole, was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't tell people I like K-pop. So I stopped listening to K-pop for a while. Then I went to visit Ali a couple summers ago, and that's when she introduced me to BTS, and that's when I fell right back to the K-pop hole, and then my wallet was suffering. So yes, thank you for that, by the way, for introducing me to K-pop twice. I am grateful. But yeah, that's how I got into K-pop. My K-pop story. So I've been into K-pop for a really long time. I just took a little bit of a break in between that, and then I got back into it right after that. Next question is, what journals do you use? So I started off by using, I think it's called a Milico journal. It's like the kind of the basic like spiral bound dotted grid ones you can get on Amazon. They're really cheap. It's like 12 for 2 or something like that. But that's when I first started getting into K-pop journaling. That's the journal that I use. And then I moved on to the love of my life, Midori journals. Midori journals are just so good. I don't know why people would ever want to use a different journal than a Midori journal. I'm just being very biased, but honestly, Midori journals are just amazing. I love them. I think the paper quality is the best paper quality I've ever used. Things don't leak through the page. You can use every single page. You don't have to, like for me, the Milico journals, you have to tape pages together because ink would bleed through, which was annoying because that means you would have less pages to fill in and you have to buy a journal more often. But for Midori journals, I love them to death. The only thing I don't like about Midori journals is that they get so thick so quickly, but honestly, every journal would get really thick really quickly just because of the amount of stuff that I put in my journal, so because I can't fault Midori for that. But honestly, if you've never tried a Midori journal, you should totally go buy one. I got mine on Amazon. It's pretty inexpensive. I think it's like $14 maybe for one. And mine lasted me almost a year, my old one. And I hadn't even filled up all the pages. I just wanted to get a new one just because I had, it was so thick because of the amount of layering I used. So yeah, I think if you've never tried a Midori journal, you're missing out big time. So yes, my favorite journals. Those are the only 2 journals I've ever tried, to be honest, but with K-pop journaling. I know there's tons of other journals out there, but those are the ones that I use. Moving on. What is the hardest thing to do while you journal? Talk. I'm joking. Actually, talking and journaling is kind of difficult, so I must admit, but the hardest thing to do while you journal, I would say read subtitles. How do people journal and watch K-dramas if you don't speak Korean? I speak a pretty intermediate amount of Korean, but I still have to read subtitles, obviously. How do people read subtitles and journal? I don't understand. What kind of sorcery is that? I can't. Like, I just physically, mentally, and emotionally cannot. I don't know why I put that like that. I kind of don't like it like that. I feel like I should put it like this. I think that's the only thing that I think is really hard to do while journaling is talking and reading subtitles. I cannot. That's why I always have to find English shows to watch while I journal, or just watch YouTube or listen to music. But I tend to get really bored journaling if I listen to music only, so I like to watch something unless I'm like in the music mood. So yes, I would really love to be able to watch like Monsta X and journal at the same time. That would be fantastic, but it just doesn't work that way apparently. Next question is, how do you stay motivated to work on your journal spreads? So motivation. What is motivation? Who is she? Never heard of her before. How do I stay motivated to work on journal spreads? Let me think. I don't. Honestly, you just gotta love journaling. I feel like you just gotta really, really, really enjoy it. For me, like I said, I journal the most when I'm stressed out because it's a stress reliever for me. But motivation comes from, I feel like, other people in the community, and also you guys. Like, you guys watching this video, you guys that comment on my journal spreads and say that I inspire you, or say that my spreads are good and that they're cute. That's what inspires me the most to journal, definitely. I feel like I would not journal as much as I do if I didn't get so much love, question mark, from my spreads, because I don't know, it's such a good warm feeling when you work so hard on the spread and it gets recognition and people think it's really good and people say that it inspires them. That's like the best feeling. So I feel like that's what motivates me the most to journal. That, I really love seeing the end result of a spread that I'm proud of. It makes me feel good about myself. Even if it doesn't get as much recognition, if I know that the spread is good and I really like it, I feel like that's what is important to me. So yeah, I just gotta really like journaling. And you'll find your motivation somewhere. Obviously, I'm not motivated to journal 24/7. That's why I don't journal 24/7, especially recently. I've been so tired and sick that I haven't been journaling a lot, but journaling is something that I really love and that I really enjoy no matter what. So yes. All right, I think that's the skyline done. That looks kind of cool though. I like the idea that I had to do that, so I'm proud of it. We're gonna keep going. It looks just as good as I thought it was gonna look. Which is saying something, because usually things don't come out as great when I think about it and then I put it into context. No, I don't know what I'm gonna say. So I printed out these photos of BTS. I found so many good photos of Taehyung in a city. Like, these are beautiful, but I just don't know where I'm gonna put them. I should have put them down before I actually started taping things down, but I'm not smart. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like this lettering. Maybe I should redo this lettering. I think it's just so small. I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna do it in a different font though. Okay, move that up and we can start lettering. Lettering and talking is so difficult. I didn't realize how difficult it was until I started doing it. Favorite type of spread. Favorite type of spread. Let me think. Recently, I don't know. Recently it's been like biases as colors or songs that remind me of a certain color. I've been really wanting to actually do that spread idea for a really long time, but I just haven't gotten around to it. I don't know why. But songs that remind me of like pink, or songs that remind me of purple, you know, just like songs that remind me of colors. I feel like color themed spreads are some of my favorites. So I guess that's my favorite spread recently. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this lettering right now. Why is Monsta X your alt group? Monsta X. Where do I even begin with my love for Monsta X? I feel like there's no beginning. So if you guys have been here for a while or you're one of my mutuals, you will know how much my alt groups have changed in the past probably year. I went from alting just BTS to alting GOT7 to alting BTS and GOT7 to alting BTS GOT7 Monsta X and to alting just Monsta X. So honestly, I feel like I have, like I say, I have 3 alt groups, Monsta X, GOT7, and BTS, but honestly, Monsta X is my alt of my alt groups, like my number 1 group. And that's for many reasons. I don't have a specific reason. I just love them so much. I feel like with your old group, obviously you have to love them a lot. And with Monsta X, they're just, there's so many things I love about them. I just watched No Mercy, their survival show that made them a group. And watching that just like made me love them even more, if that was even possible. Just because I can see what they've gone through, especially Changyun. Poor Changyun, that whole show, you're just getting like beat down. Poor boy. But yeah, I just seen how much growth how much they've grown, and how much I just love them. I don't know, I just love them so much. I feel like the first time I started watching anything, I connected with them. I'm literally spelling Monsta X as I'm writing. I'm supposed to be spelling Microcosmos. I'm talking about Monsta X and now I'm writing Monsta X. That's hilarious. Anyways, I guess we'll keep writing Microcosmos. There's so many things I love about Monsta X. And I think, I just love their music. I love their dynamic. The number 1 thing I love about them is just how they interact with each other. I feel like with every group, that's the number 1 thing I love about them. Is just how great of friends they are, and how they incorporate fans. And there's just so many compilation videos of Monsta X just being so good to Mon Bebe that it just makes my heart so happy. So next question, what is my favorite food? My favorite food is any Thai or Lao food. Just joking. My favorite food is pho. 100% pho. Love it so much. Best food in the entire world. If you guys have never had pho before, Vietnamese noodle soup, the best. I'm in love with that food. It's my ultimate comfort food. It makes me feel so good. Every time I eat it, it just feels like a hug. Pho, and I also really like kapun, which is kind of similar to pho, except it's like coconut milk instead of like beef broth. I think it's like coconut milk and chicken broth kind of mixture. Really, really, really good. I think that's a Thai and Lao food. I'm not sure. My Lao family makes it a lot. So that, there's lap. Lap is like meat. It can be meat, fish. There's different kinds of lap, but I really like it. Sticky rice, just rice in general. Sushi, love sushi. Any Asian food. I just love Asian food. I am obsessed with Asian food. Maybe I just gotta know the answer. Oh, someone that takes you higher than you've ever been. Okay, I'm gonna finish these letters before I get back to you guys, because I'm honestly, I can't talk and do this at the same time. I'm like not gifted. Play some music while I do this. Alligator. Cute girl Monday. No, I'm an alligator. Watch out. Lay down. Next question. What ethnicity are you? So, kind of like I just mentioned, I am Southeast Asian. I'm half Southeast Asian. I'm half Lao. Actually, I'm not full half Lao. I just figured that out. I took a 23andMe test, so I know what ethnicities I am. I am, I think, about 34% Lao. I'm pretty sure that's what it said on there. And I am like 16% Vietnamese, which is fun. And then on my mom's side, I am like 34% Great Britain Island, and then like 16% German. So I have quite a few ethnicities in me, which is fun. But yeah, so that's what I am. Although I do like Asian food more than I like European food, I must admit. I'm gonna make this look okay. Do you see how ugly? I just can't letter and talk at the same time. My lettering today has been looking so bad. Like, do you see how many times I had to like clean off my pens? Anyways, the next question is, what are you majoring in college? So as some of you might know, some of you might not know, I'm going to college next year. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I'm going to orientation tomorrow. So my major for college is biology, specifically biology with a focus on pre-professional studies. So there's different types of biology, obviously, but for me, I'm doing pre-professional studies, which is basically what you take before you go to med school or dentist school or whatever professional school you want to go to. So yeah, that is what I'm taking because I want to be a doctor slash surgeon slash I don't really know yet. So something in the medical field, and I know that I want to go to med school, so that is why I'm majoring in biology. Of course, that is subject to change no matter what. I don't like to set things in stone when I'm thinking about my future. Okay, it doesn't look as bad now that it's cut out. Maybe I'm just telling myself that. But yeah, I definitely am very open to changes in my plans, but I definitely know that I want to be in the medical field of some sort. And I think being a doctor rather than being a nurse would be better for me, since I am so competitive and I'm such a perfectionist in a lot of things that I do, that I feel like I need to be like the quote-unquote boss. Not really boss, but you know what I mean. I don't really. I like leadership positions, and I feel like being a doctor is the ultimate leadership position. Favorite girl group. So I don't really listen to girl groups. That might sound like what? But honestly, I think my favorite girl group that's still together besides like 21 would be, I guess, Mamamoo. I like Mamamoo's music a lot, and I like their group dynamic. I like Solar and Hwasa. But I really like Blackpink's music. I don't like Blackpink as a group that much. Like, I like Lisa a lot, but I don't really enjoy their like live performances. Or, I don't know. I don't really like YG groups, to be that honest. I love iKON, and I'm so sad that BI was kicked out of iKON for no reason. By the way, freaking hate YG. But I think that now I'm not really a fan of any YG groups anymore. YG used to be the only company that I stand, and now it's like my least favorite company out of all the top 3. But yeah, I'd say Mamamoo. And I like Blackpink's music as well. I think it's very hype music, which I enjoy. So, next question is, do you work? Sadly, yes. I work. That's how I afford to buy new things. Obviously, I have to get money somehow, but I'm not going to be working for very much longer. I'm quitting in August, and that's already been set because I talked to my boss about it yesterday, and she gave me the okay to quit, which she didn't have to because I was going to quit either way because my schedule doesn't work out with my job. But yeah, I do work. I am a tutor. Actually, I work at a tutoring place. I used to tutor, and now I work front desk. So I don't really tutor anymore, if you really think about it. But I work front desk at a tutoring place, and I hate it. I really hate it. I hate front desk. I never want to do a front desk job ever again. It is the most awful. I have so much respect for front desk people. You guys, don't ever be mad at your front desk lady or man, because they do the absolute most, much more than you think. Front desk is such a hard job. There's so many things going on all the time. Customer service is a hard job. Front desk is customer service mixed in with phone calls, mixed in with information, mixed in with questions, mixed in with like everything. Especially at my job, there's so many things you have to remember and do all the time that it's just awful. I hate front, so yeah, never disrespect front desk people because they do the most. Next question is a series of questions that are kind of the same but a little bit different. So first one is favorite Monsta X album / song. So that's a really hard one. These are all really hard. Monsta X, for my favorite album probably is We Are Here, the newest album. That album is just so good. I love every single song on it. By far, amazing. I also really love the Code album. I love all their albums, to be honest, but yeah, I would say We Are Here is my favorite. And as for favorite song, at the moment, it is Who Do You Love? But I don't know my all-time favorite song by them. It changes a lot. I really like Akmo, Ghost, Shine Forever, Hero, From Zero, Underwater. I feel like all their music I really enjoy. Fighter, OG. Yeah, I don't know. I guess We Are Here is my favorite album, and my favorite song changes time to time, but right now the only song I've been listening to recently has been Who Do You Love? Alright, next one is favorite BTS album / song. This one is so hard. It used to be with certainty that I would say Wings is my favorite album, but honestly, I don't know. My favorite album, I don't know. I really love Persona, Map of the Soul, Persona, the newest album. I love that album so much, and it's been what I've been listening to by BTS recently. But Love Yourself Tear is my favorite Love Yourself album by far. Love that album. But also Wings, but also like You Never Walk Alone. I would say recently it's been Map of the Soul, Persona, but honestly it does change again, like 10-10. All their songs are so good. All their albums are so good. Same with their songs. My favorite song by BTS, I have a couple. Pada, See, love that song. And Spring Day, obviously, it's an OG song. And Microcosmos, and The Truth Untold, and Jamais Vu. Yeah. And Mic Drop, love Mic Drop. And Cypher Part 4. I think those are all of my favorite songs by BTS. They're my hype songs. And also like my sad songs. I love sad music, if you guys can tell. Next question is favorite GOT7 album / song. Going down my old groups. So GOT7 album by far 7 for 7. That album is just amazing in so many ways, and if you guys don't love 7 for 7, you are wrong. Love that album. My favorite song by GOT7, Never Ever. I feel like I have one specific song I love from GOT7. Oh, well, I mean, I love all their music, but Never Ever is definitely my most played song by them, and I love that song so much. It's so good. So yeah, I had to say Never Ever. But I also love Teenager. The music is just good. I feel like that's all my old groups. The music is just good. Next question is my favorite drink. So I have a couple. Recently it's been the Dragon drink from Starbucks. That drink is so good. If you've never had it, I'm like absolutely obsessed with it recently. So it's the only thing I've been drinking. I actually got one today and it's like gone. Oh, it's like gone, but I don't mind that. But I'd say also I love tea, any hot teas. Really love oolong tea and jasmine tea for hot teas, and black tea. So I would say those, and then for like cold drinks, dragon drink, and then Thai tea, and just like lychee oolong, or no, lychee jasmine tea, like iced, is so good. So those are my favorite drinks. Next question is, where do you buy your stationery? So I get my stationery from many places. I would say the biggest is AliExpress. I love AliExpress so much. And I just ordered so much stationery from so many different places recently, so I can't really keep track that well, but oh my god, AliExpress is amazing. It's the most magical place on earth. And I get the majority of my stationery that I buy from there. Also, Daiso. I don't have a Daiso where I live, but when I go to LA, I always go to Daiso and pick some stuff up. And I get up my pen pals, a lot of my stationery. I just ordered some stuff from group orders though, so I should be getting quite a lot of stationery coming in the next like couple of months, just because I ordered a lot. I ordered like $30 worth of stationery on group orders. So anyways, that was the last of my questions. So I think I'm just going to do like a journal with me. I'm going to speed it up like twice, and you guys can watch as I finish the rest of this journal spread. Okay everyone, I just finished my journal spread. Sorry that the angle sucks. I need to buy a tripod, and I will next time I get paid. But this is what it looks like in the end. I really like how it came out. I kind of wish that the buildings had more detail, but I'm not sure what I would add to the buildings to make it look like it had more detail, so I'm just not even going to touch them, because I feel like if I touch them I'm going to ruin them. But I added a bunch of lyrics because Microcosmos has some very meaningful lyrics. So Itoshe pure, the city's light. That is what it looks like. I like how it came out, actually. It looks pretty similar to what I had in my head, so that's nice. And now I'm gonna edit this, sorry, I'm gonna text. I'm gonna edit this video, and I will post a picture of this baby tomorrow, the next day. I love you guys so much, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something new about me. And if you made it to the end, I'm sorry it took me so long, even though this is like a short journal with me. I feel like my regular times it takes me to journal, it takes like 2 hours and on. So yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.